gonna wait for people to join. Hey guys, welcome. Waiting for some more people to join. Hope everybody is doing well today. Yes, welcome to my live. It's another Monday, which means I'm doing my Monday Minutes with Mudiwa Noel. So, hope you join in and stay around. A lot to talk about since I haven't been on here for a week. So, I want to wait a little bit longer, get some people on here. Hi, cousin. Hi, Kia. How you doing? I'm going to try to get better at this because I swear it's hard for me to look at both of these. But I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. So if you see me looking at two different screens, that's why. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to Monday Minutes with Mudiwa Noel. If you've never been to or seen one of my Monday Minutes, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'll be talking about, well, this is my second part in my 6-part series that I'll be doing on teaching the youth. Now, I started 2 weeks ago, and that video is actually uploaded on my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you want to see it, you can go to type in Mudiwa Noel and you'll find my page, and then you'll see the video that I posted. So I named my theme of my actual video is Teach the Youth, just because I think it embodies everything of who I am. And I think that everyone teaches someone, whether they want to or not, whether it's someone looking at you, someone who looks up to you, whether you're a parent, whatever the case may be, you're teaching someone either through your actions or, you know, what you're saying. So it all depends on where you are in life. And I think that everybody is teaching someone regardless of what. So I last week or 2 weeks ago talked about transitions, and I talked about how important transitions were, and that everybody experiences transitions, and transitions are can be good and bad. Some transitions come during the right time. Some of them come, you feel like bad times, but everybody has to transition. In order to grow, you have to transition. In order for them to go from a young lady to a woman, you have to transition. So I talked about transitions the last time. This time, I'm talking about bridging the gap. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because recently I went on a job interview, and one of the questions was something to the effect of, would I consider myself, like what title would I give myself as an educator? And the first thing that came to mind, it was a different, unique question that I've never experienced in all the interviews that I've gone on. And the one thing that I said was, I consider myself a bridge. And then I went on to say, I consider myself a bridge because I feel like I am one of the people, or one of my major roles is to make sure I'm helping my students cross over into adulthood. So I'm that bridge that's in between their adolescence age and their adult age that can help them to transition to be young adults. So I just felt like that's my role as an educator, is a bridge. And so in thinking about that, I thought about all the things or the bridges that I've had to overcome or cross over to become who I am. And I think that everybody, hi, I'm waving back to the I can't really see. But I have crossed over multiple bridges, and people have been bridges for me. Some people have gone before me to be a bridge so that I can walk over it easier or easily. And I feel like I'm a bridge for other people coming behind me. And so I want to talk about it in perspective for those who are not only parents. Hey, Dana, not only parents, but who may be young adults, teenagers, mentors, other educators, or just somebody who just um, needs help to get over a hump or something that they're experiencing. And so the main things that I thought about was impact and how bridges are impacted. And it's so funny that I named it bridges because I am an educator, I am a supervisor. And so as being a supervisor, I actually have to do observations. And two of my teachers did observations on the same thing, and both of them were talking about the construction of a bridge. They were talking about the tension versus the I do remember it's somewhere to see, but they were talking about the different pressure points of a bridge and how thank you, Dana, and how the different things that can cause a bridge to collapse if it's not built properly. And I thought that that was interesting because we as adults set foundations for people that come behind us, and we don't even realize how much we're actually creating strong bridges or weak bridges that can actually collapse or that can cause someone else to collapse that's coming behind us. And so I think that it's very, very important as an adult and as someone who is either a parent or a mentor to other people, an example in general, whether it be on your job, whether it be in your personal life, that when you create a bridge, the bridge that you're creating is something that someone can easily get over and that won't collapse on them. That you're creating a foundation that's good that can actually help them to move forward in life. I think we're all supposed to reach back and pull somebody else forward. I know you've heard that before. It's like cliche, but it's so true. Like, what are you doing? Your life cannot be complete by you just being fulfilled and happy. I think happiness and fulfillment comes when you actually reach back and help someone else move forward in life. And so I say that to then get to my main point of impact. And so I came up with this thing called impact, and it kind of hit the main points that I wanted to talk about as far as this Monday Minutes. And so I'll jump right into it. Before I do that and before I forget, I want to just say, you guys, please add comments below if you've seen any of my videos before and there's something that you got from the video that you thought was good. Please add your comments. If it's something you want to hear about or you want me to talk about from an educator, like you have a teenager, you having struggles with your teenagers, with them following instructions or doing what you want to do, please put it below. If you are a teenager or a young adult that's dealing with some issues with your parents, please comment below and put a question. Like, I really want you guys, I really don't like talking at this. Like, I'm talking to a computer, like, that's so weird. So I really would prefer people to talk back with me and create a dialogue so that I don't feel so crazy. All right, but either way, like, add comments. I know people coming in and out, whatever. If you see the video either later, just post your comment and let me know what you think, any questions you may have, so forth and so on. So back to my main points, which was the impact. So I talked about the bridge. So if you're just joining my live, hey Rach, if you're just joining my live, I talked about how my minutes this week is about bridging the gap. And bridging the gap, I'm focusing on how bridges are created to create impact and allow someone to come from one side of the bridge to the next. And if a bridge is not created properly, and if it's hit or if something hits the bridge or too much pressure, the bridge will break. So which bridges are you creating for someone else and for your life that can help someone get from one side to the next? And so I use the acronym IMPACT, and IMPACT basically talks about 6 major points. So the I is implementing time for young adults or others to express themselves in a manner that they're comfortable with. I think I've learned as an educator that sometimes I would try to discredit how or why my students should express how they feel. And I think that it's important when we're dealing with young adults and the youth, whether it be, again, your child or somebody you mentor, or just somebody you're dealing with, meaning like just in communication, to allow people to express themselves in the way that they see fit. Now, that doesn't mean allow somebody to cuss you out, but that does mean allow them to say how they feel and be honest about how they feel. I think that's important. So then the M in impact meaning mentorships outside the home. Meaning, if you are not a mentor and you don't have anybody under your wing, there's a problem. There should always be someone mentoring someone else. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. Oh, hi from the Bahamas. How you doing? I don't care who you are or where you're from. I think somebody should always be mentoring someone else. It doesn't matter from what place you come from. And for parents, you cannot be your child's only mentor. Now, that doesn't mean just allow anybody to mentor your child, but somebody is mentoring your child, whether it be social media, whether it be Kim K, whether it be Beyonce, whether it be Oprah, no matter who it is, somebody is mentoring your child other than you, because although a lot of children say, well, I look up to my mom and dad, there still can be a disconnect in between that relationship. And so it's important to make sure that you have someone that is, hi Earl, that has somebody to actually pull them up and help them, somebody that they can listen to and receive from other than their parents. So mentorship outside the home is vitally important, and it helps them to actually create relationships with people and learn how to create healthy relationships outside of just their family. So mentoring and mentorships are important, especially to teenagers, I'm going to tell you. So then provide experiences. I'm all about providing experiences to open up the eyes and wisdom of young adults. I put a post on my page. I actually just saw a little bit ago before I jumped on here. I put a post up a little while ago that says something to the fact that if I'm always creating experiences for my student, that it's not enough for me just to teach them, but I have to be providing them with an experience that will help them to grow and mature and to move on through life and be better than I was. And so I feel like with growth comes maturity. With maturity comes enlightenment. And I just feel like it's my job as an educator to make sure that I'm providing experiences. My mom provided experiences for me. If I said I wanted to do something, she made it happen. I think so often parents don't consider the experiences that they're giving their children. It's like more is caught than taught. My pastor always says, people are going to pay attention to what you do versus what you say way more. And so if you're doing something, your children are watching what you're doing. And if you're providing them with experiences to do things, they're going to remember those experiences. Hey, they're going to remember those. People waving at me. I'm sorry, y'all. I just get distracted. That's my ADHD. But I'm with y'all. I'm just saying hey to people who say hey to me, so I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy. So basically providing experiences outside of the home that can help them grow and learn things like, how would a kid know they want to be an accountant unless they go to an accountant firm and talk to an accountant? How would y'all know they want to be a dentist if they never experienced what a dentist experience? You know why so many kids want to be rappers, singers, entertainers? Because that's all they see. That's their experiences. So their experiences is what's shaping them to want to be who they're saying they want to be. But it's really it's your experiences that you create for children or young adults or the people in your life is which builds their character. Nobody knows what they want to do just by somebody sitting in a classroom. I mean, I don't understand why so many kids like, I want to be a doctor or lawyer. What? Okay, you're not good at science, baby. You couldn't pass biology, so what makes you think you want to be a doctor? Like, let's be realistic. But there's nobody to tell them. They're like, yeah, baby, that's good. Like, be a doctor. Be all you can be. No, be realistic. If they're not good at biology now, when they go to grad school, they're going to waste all your money and their money. And so what you do is say, okay, baby, you want to be a doctor? Let's find a way for you to get that experience. So to see and cultivate that, to see if that's really what you want to do when you get older, because 9 times out of 10, you'll see and you'll find that these kids really don't want to do what they think they want to do. So that's one of my biggest points is create experiences for kids, mentors, people that are around you, your nieces, nephews, create experiences. And then so that was my P in impact. So my A is for accepting their differences. Accept people's differences. I have learned that it is okay to accept people for who they are, and even though they're not like you, to be okay with their differences. Sometimes some differences create the best relationships because what someone else lacks, someone else is strong in. And so be okay with differences, especially when dealing with someone younger than you. I have found that the way I think is totally different than the way my students think. And so I have to be open to the differences, and hearing out, again, goes back to that, allowing them to express who they are and their feelings. I have to be open to them expressing their emotions and how they feel. So we get in debate about something, I don't agree with them, I throw it back on them. So they'll say something like, I can't stand girls. Me and girls don't get along. Well, why don't you and girls get along? Well, because they're catty, they're this. Well, what characteristics did you show? If you saying girls are like this, that means you're that way. Yeah, but I'm this way and that way. But what experiences have you had that make you just think all girls are catty? Because everybody is not catty. Example, and I'll give an example of a girl they may know like, well, true. And so then I create a dialogue so we can then comprehend each other. I don't just tell them to shut up and they don't know what they're talking about. Because I think a lot of parents do that to their children is they like, no, I'm saying this, you do it, and it's never a conversation. So what children end up doing is they end up backfiring and they end up becoming rebellious because of the thing that you're telling them to do versus providing them with an opportunity to express how they feel and who they are as a person. So A, again, that was accepting their differences. So then my C in impact is care to talk them through their thoughts and emotions. People are emotional. So I think when I'm talking about bridging gaps or bridging the gap, I'm talking about just providing an experience with someone to be able to get over something that they're in or to move past a point that they're currently in. And so when I talk about allow people, accepting or caring to talk about the emotions, I think that so many people cut off how other people feel and they chalk it up. Hey, Sadie, they chalk it up to just, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're emotional. Well, I think emotions are important because so understanding where somebody is coming from or how they feel is important to understanding who they are as a person. I think that is vitally important when you're talking about bridging the gaps and becoming a mentor to someone or making sure that you're impacting other people's lives. Like I said, if you're just joining, I'm talking about bridging the gap and making sure that everybody is impacting somebody. If you don't have someone under you or a mentor, or you're not mentoring someone and actually pulling someone forward, then you need to get someone that you're mentoring because everybody needs somebody and your supply is needed somewhere. And so that's what I've been talking about. So the last point with my T in impact was teach them through your actions, not through your words. That is very important. More is caught, like I said, than taught. So many people talk a good game, but they don't do what they say. And so nobody wants someone to mentor them or to help them get somewhere in life if they're not showing that same thing that they're telling you to do. Like parents will say, do as I say, not as I do. No, most kids will do as you do and not as you say. And so it's important to be an example. Not all the time will they do as you do either. So that's not to say that doesn't come without, some issues. But my whole point is you can't speak on something if you're not acting it out on a day-to-day basis. So you can't be somebody. Bye. Thank you for coming. You can't be somebody if you can't tell somebody to be somebody that you're not already exemplifying. So I'm going to go over my main points again. So I talked about impact was the most important to bridging the gap. And impact includes implementing time for people to express themselves. Mentorships outside of the home is important. Providing experiences for people to grow and learn. And accepting others' differences. It's okay for someone to be different than you. Understanding, then it goes into caring to talk to them about their emotions. And then that can kind of help you understand their differences and how you guys think differently. And then teach them through your actions and not through your words. So I think that for me, I try to use this analogy in bridging the gap just because I feel like at the end of the day, when I leave this earth, what impact will I have on someone else? And I think that everybody wants to leave here feeling like they've made some type of impression on somebody's life. So that is my Monday Minutes. That is the end of my Monday Minutes. I do want to say before I log off of here, if you have not joined my mailing list, please go to mudiwanoel.com. You'll get a pop-up window and you can join my mailing list and you'll get my emails about, I'm actually have some dates coming up. I'll be doing some speaking engagements and I'll be doing some pop-up book signings. So please join my mailing list because I'll send most of the information out ahead of time there. Also, follow me on Instagram because some of y'all are on my Instagram. But if you're not on my Instagram, you're on my Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. That's Mudiwa Noel. If you're not on my Facebook and you're on Instagram, follow me, Mudiwa Johnson. If you haven't got a copy of the material, girl, if you know somebody that you think will benefit from it, make sure you go to my website, go to the shop link, and you can buy your copy. Again, I'll be back next week. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, put in the comment section below. I'll be checking those out. Thank you for stopping by. See you next time.